Welcome to Stratobeat Reviews, the show by DJs for DJs. I'm your host IMG, and with me today is my co-host, who I'll let introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Music George, and I'm sorry that I sound like this. I have been microchipped by the government, and they're tracking my every move.
Hey, I mean, it's better than, 5G, getting those brain waves, cancer waves. I don't fucking know. But anyway, before we begin, I should probably talk briefly about what Stratobeat is for those discovering this podcast for the first time. So, Stratobeat is a spreadsheet made by DJs for DJs, hence the tagline at the beginning. And our goal is basically to give DJs accurate keys, BPMs, genres of tracks from a wide variety of artists and labels. Basically, there was this spreadsheet, the genre sheet. Navith made that, and I did not like the way it was going. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to make my own. And here we are. And then after that, I decided that, maybe it'd be cool to revive my old Monstercat channel layout channel and tie it into Stratobeat. And now here we are on this channel with a bunch of songs, and now we get to talk about a lot of them. So really hope you guys are looking forward to some of the changes that we still have yet to announce this year. Those are coming up soon, so stay tuned. But yeah, other than that, that's my little intro spiel. We have a lot of music to talk about this week, so I'm gonna let you pick, Mizu, what you want to start with first.
Probably the singles would be best first, because then we can sort of knock those out before we get on to any EPs, LPs, albums.
Yeah, all that. Alright, rapid fire single round, except it's probably not going to be very rapid fire.
No.
So first up, we have the new single from Binary Ensemble and Exolight titled The Day We Met. All I can really say about this is I did like this a lot. It's refreshing to see an uplifting trance track that isn't just 138. So, yeah, otherwise I thought this was a pretty good track. What about you?
It actually reminded me of back in the day. I'd listened to DJ Phalanx. I don't know whether he's still going, but he used to do a lot of uploads of his radio shows of just uplifting trance, and it reminded me of the days when I was sort of really deep into that.
Yeah.
So I may have pressed buy.
Yeah. Now look at you. You are a hardcore DJ for about 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, but this is the 10 out of 10th time.
Yeah. I don't blame you. This is a really good track. Up next, we have the newest single off Alan Fitzpatrick's debut album, I'm pretty sure. If it's not his debut album, it's his debut album on Anjuna Deep. This is his track with high contrast Bourgeois imagery. Oh my god. Okay, this was the track, when I saw the track list for that album, I was really looking forward to, because high contrast has made some really good drum and bass, and I was not expecting, of course, drum and bass on Anjuna Deep. And then when this came out, it was really cool to see like an old break style track. I think this might be pretty close to being in my best of 2021, if it's not already in that list.
Yeah, it gave me quite a, the really early Prodigy vibes, smack my bitch up type things. It gave me that sort of vibes.
Yeah, without being I feel it's not quite big beat like that sort of thing, but it's in the similar vein,
Yeah, it's more like an homage rather than a direct tribute.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it too.
Yeah. Well, up next we have the new track from Dysomia and Psycho Boys Club, Wait For Me. I don't know, on first listen I didn't really like this one as much, but then I listened to it again later and it kind of grew on me. This is okay, it's not my favorite, but it's pretty good. I'll tolerate it,
Yeah, I quite like it, but I want to note in my notes that I've literally just written down Psycho. But yeah, I did enjoy the Psycho Boys Club EP that they recently put out, and I feel like this is more on the weaker side, like sort of matching the same vibes as Akira that they did. Still good, just not up there.
Yeah, I did really like that EP too. So like you said, this was kind of a bit of a letdown from that. Not bad by any means, but a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
So then up next we have Tails with his track Close to Me. I was very surprised by this because I figured, oh, it's going to be typical Tails, feature bass, trap, you know, similar-ish. But no, this is like some future garage stuff, and wow, this is really good. I like this one a lot, actually.
For some reason, in my notes, I literally just put, probably good to study to tests to at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it does kind of, like, it's not quite lo-fi vibes, but it's in that, like, sphere of, like, chill music and stuff.
Yeah, like, if it was in a lo-fi mix, then you'd notice, but you wouldn't say, like, ugh, why is that?
Yeah.
sort of
yeah,
thing.
it's not out of place, but it probably wouldn't be put in there, like, in the first place. So then, up next, this is a track I actually missed in my adding of singles last week, since it was not on Beatport, but THEBOYWITHSPEC and I Misled Andy with You Will Never See. This one, I went into it, and I was like, I don't know, I think this might be kind of iffy, but I really did like it. The vocals kind of sounded like Sullivan King, which I really like his stuff a lot, so that was a bonus point there. But yeah, I really like this track. That's about all I can really say about it, though.
I think one thing that also makes it stand out is the fact that they use two kicks, because they have the typical hardstyle kick layered at the same time with a hardcore kick, and it really makes it stand out to sort of all the rest of the gungs.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it other than just gung.
Oh, man.
I never thought I would... Sorry.
I mean, that's hardstyle is the Kongs, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I never thought I'd see a track with sort of, you know, Keizo's typical vocals put into hardstyle.
Yeah, this does feel like a Keizo vocal, honestly. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah, I actually am gonna have to keep my eye out on these two. Up next, we have OBLVYN's new track, Planet Eternium, and like NRM, which was their first track on Monster Cat, they really blend like glitch hop elements and then whatever genre they're producing in, which in this case is drum and bass. Oh man, it just really brings me back to like Haywire and like those kind of artists, you know, from back in like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, my notes here, I don't know why I've written it like this. That sound design, good soup.
I mean, it is good soup. I will admit, this is very good soup. I love this track.
Upon listening to it, I was just like, oh my god, this is incredible stuff.
Yeah, like, it has no right to be this good. I'm sorry.
Exactly, but the fact that it is...
Yeah. Yep. And then up next, we have the new Crankdat track, the same featuring neverwaves, who was previously Dirty Chime, if you remember him from Collapse with Pixel Terror. I don't know. Like, this isn't really anything special to me. It's just, if you liked Crankdat's earlier color-based stuff, you'll like this. That's about all I can say. It's nothing special.
Yeah, all I've got written down here is that there's actually a bit too much noise for me personally in the drop. Like, there isn't enough percussion going on. It's basically all just lead.
Yeah.
And it's not to my taste.
Yeah, it could be a lot better. And then up next we have DOMii with Boss, which is out on House Trap. I don't know, man. House Trap has been a bit hit and miss for me. and this is very much a miss. Like, I've heard a lot better tech house, and this just does not do it for me at all.
Well, this is actually one that I get to disagree with you on.
Wow.
I quite like it because it gives me sort of earlier Fisher vibes, you know, like Losing It and things like that. So I personally quite like it for that reason. But I do get that there is other tech house that, you know, would suit other people. This is just one for me.
Yeah. Up next we have Vluarr. I think I'm pronouncing that right. With his second single on with his second single on Monster Cat titled Paradise. And okay, I'm sorry, but this is like one of the weirdest shifts in genres from like a previous release, because his last release was like bass house kind of stuff, and this just reminds me of Album 1 by San Holo. I mean, that's not a bad shift at all. I like it a lot, but it's like you went from bass house to this. I mean, I don't see the connection at all.
Yeah, I've got written down here in my notes that it sort of reminds me of 2018 dubstep. So, like, still good, just not quite as up to date as it could be.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably why I cited Album 1 by San Holo. Up next, we have Maor Levy's and Yahel's new track Creator, which I'm not sure is a remix of Yahel's track Creator, which was released, I don't know when, but I just know that when I was looking up the follow info for that when I was uploading this earlier this week, I found a track by the same person with the same title, so I don't know. But I do like this because it has like this retro trance, you know, sound to it. Like, I could hear this being played at a club in like 2000, you know. Honestly, I would love to like hear this played out live, you know, on good club speakers.
Yeah, it did give me sort of Storm vibes.
Yeah.
Like Storm Animal. I can't remember any of their other songs, to be honest. It's probably Storm.
Yeah.
But I've also put this in my Beatport cart ready.
Yep.
Yeah, if it is a remix, then they've done a similar thing to what Dougal did with Reflections.
Yeah.
Because that was already a Disco's Over track, and then Dougal upgraded it to... Oh, hello, my computer's dying.
Oh.
Okay, no, it's just going to sleep. But yeah, if that's what's happened, then by all means, I'm down for more.
Oh yeah, I would love to see more of this stuff from Maor Levy, seriously. Up next we have Qrion's new single, also off their upcoming album, which I think comes out next week, I'm pretty sure. 1111. I don't know, I feel this one falls a bit flat. It's kind of cool to see Qrion making something other than like melodic house, but I don't know, it just does not sit well with me. It's okay, but I would not like play this in a set or anything like that.
Yeah, it gave me... I've written down here, gives very early 2000s vibes, so by that I can't remember what it actually sounded like, but by that it's probably things like... Because I don't know whether you've got something similar over there, but over here we had things like the Ministry of Sound Annual 2000, 2001, etc.
Yeah, so, I've heard of Ministry of Sound.
So they 1111 probably gave me sort of the vibes of the songs that you'd listen to, but every time you look at the album you'd like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then up next we have Rawtek's new track, Yeah Baby. This is very similar to their remix of Drugs by Yellow Claw, and it's like in that speed garage style, and I really like that they're exploring that a lot, because I don't know, something about it just really like resonates with me. And honestly, I think this one might be a personal favorite off the upcoming Hotel Barong compilation.
I didn't know that was actually a thing, to be honest with you.
I wait, Speed Garage or the Hotel Barong compilation?
The Hotel Barong.
Oh, that's been in like the corner of all the release artworks.
Oh.
Yeah,
Shows
that's
how much I actually look at the artworks.
yeah, I mean that's why I'm guessing it, you know.
Fair
I don't know,
enough,
I bet you if
but-
I look at Beatport right now, who knows, maybe it'll have already been out. I don't know. Anyway.
But yeah, I also got sort of UK garage vibes from it as well. Sort of speed and UK garage, and then to be honest, I do prefer Rawtek when they're doing sort of the speedier stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it's still good. But I prefer it with a song. It's like Beat Hotel.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. And then up next we have Dot's track Want to Say on Bitbird. I don't know. I mean, I like this track. It's like kind of a smooth, like alternative R&B style track. But that's about it. Like I wouldn't like play this out or anything. It's too slow for my tastes. It's more like one of those tracks you just like vibe to, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if my recording cut out of that.
It might have. Probably did. Who knows?
Me trying to load up Rawtek tracks, see what they look like. But yeah, it does remind me of like the old Dido song when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Like Just Be Good to Me. I think that was Dido. I'll find out whenever we upload this and someone's like, that's not Dido, that's blah blah blah.
yeah, exactly.
I expect a comment like that now.
Yeah. It better happen by the time the next episode after this comes out, or I'm gonna find someone. I don't know. but
yeah, I did quite like this song. It's just obviously not one that you can really play out at a show or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like unless you are playing like smooth R&B or something like that, yeah, you can't really play it.
Or your name's Porter Robinson.
Yeah, I guess. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to see him tonight at the time of this recording. So we'll see how that goes.
Ooh, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, weird side tangent real quick. But Porter, like, I mean, okay. So of course he's kind of like one of the gods of synth pop, or at least like this post synth pop stuff. And I don't know, the only songs I really like from him are his early stuff, like Spitfire, Easy, that Goodbye to a World was really good off Worlds, and a couple of the singles that came out before Nurture, and that's about it, really, honestly. Like, it's just kind of samey, you know? At least in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Like it gets old after a while.
Yeah, I do get that.
Yeah.
I quite like some of the older stuff. I do find that his newer stuff is so sort of diverse in its sounds. Like Something Comforting sounds absolutely nothing like Musician, which sounds absolutely nothing like oh fuck, what was the first one? Get Your Wish.
Oh, yeah, Get Your Wish too. Yeah, but I was like, you know, he's coming here, and I technically get free tickets through Euphoric Nation, which we get to talk about his track next episode, since it came out this week. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't you go to a free show? But anyway, up next we have Ilo, I think that's how you pronounce it, with Meliadi. And this is basically progressive breaks at its finest, and that's about all I can really say about it.
The only thing that I can really add to that is that it sort of reminds me of the original Cafe Del Mar.
Oh yeah.
Like, not the 3-in-1 mix, but the actual, like, chill version of it.
Yeah. That's by Scooter, right?
No, that's
or am
Energy
I thinking
52.
Of something? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, right. Maybe Scooter did like a cover of it or something.
Probably. They've done
I'm thinking
cover
of Scooter
everything
Del
at this
Mar.
point.
Yeah, I know, right? I was actually looking through their old stuff, and I mean, I knew Rebel Yell was a cover of the Billy Idol song, and there was one other song I knew was a cover. I forget. But then I listened to, like, the middle albums that haven't quite been genre-ID'd yet. I was like, wait a minute. This is a Billy Idol song? This is a Kiss song? What's going on? So yeah, I didn't really know that until, like, just recently, actually.
Yeah, it was similar for me when I first heard Walking in Memphis. I was just like, they copied Scooter! And then I grew up and I was just like, no, they didn't.
Oh, wait. Yeah, no. Yeah, that sounds about right, though. That's some shit I would probably say about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But up next we have Ghost and ZUSHI's track Run. I like this one a lot, but I cannot think for the life of me of the track it reminds me of. Now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't listened to it recently. Like, I just listened to it whenever I listen to tracks for this. But I want to say it's reminds me of Cabe's When I'm With You. That was on a Musical Freedom last year. But part of me is like, no, that is absolutely not it at all. So I don't know.
I think the only thing that it reminds me of, and you're gonna hate me for mentioning this, is
oh boy,
Lewd Gravity.
Oh no,
the first drop specifically.
I mean, I guess I could see it, but.
But yeah, with Run, I do wish that the drops were a little longer, but obviously I know that's just how it is with Monster Cat releases.
Yeah, and another side tangent, I just don't like how tracks lately, not just Monster Cat, but some other labels too, just been getting really short. Like, I don't want to listen to like 2:45, tracks. Like, it's like. I pay for a 4-minute track, or I want to pay for a 4-minute track, not a 2-minute and 45-second one.
Yeah, that's why whenever Hardcore Tennessee releases something, I just think, oh, I'm just gonna wait until the actual compilation comes out, because that's when the extended mixes come out.
Yeah, I cannot listen to radio mixes anymore. I mean, like, since I started live DJing and all that. I mean, even before that, I didn't like to listen to radio mixes. I'd rather listen to the full thing, but it's just, now it's really like, I cannot listen to radio mixes at all.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, unless that's, of course, the only mix available, in which case I will begrudgingly do it. But, anyway, tangents aside, we have 2 more tracks to talk about real quick before we get to the EPs and LPs. We have Paul Thomas and Funkagenda with Carcerem. I don't have much to say about this other than it's not a bad prog house track. That's about it.
Yeah. The way I've written Carcerem, it looks like it just says concern.
Yeah. It does kind of, actually.
Yeah. I've written down here, very vibey, though I wish the lead had more layers, as I feel it would also fit uplifting trance better.
Yeah, it is really, like, it's 125, I think. But I think if it were sped up to 138 and the leads would give it a bit more substance, it would fit well under uplifting trance a lot.
Like, it's not bad the way it is, but...
Yeah. Like I can listen to it, but it's just, I think it would be better if it were uplifting trance, honestly.
Yeah.
And then finally we have the new AU5 track, Awaken, featuring Nohc, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. But this really reminded me of Dragonfly off their Divinorium album. Oh, man, I love the guitar in this one, and I am going to argue, this might be a controversial opinion, but I'm going to argue this comes close to Always in a Nightmare quality.
I mean, yeah. I've also written down here, it's strange to see Nohc, I think, not on, like, a trance track, because every time that I've seen them on something, it's been either a trance track or a remix of a trance track.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah. I know AU5 did another track with them and that was melodic dubstep. That was last May. Yeah, that sounds about right. Something like
I
that.
must
And
have missed
that was
that.
pretty good. Yeah, that one was okay. I didn't like that it was just melodic dubstep. Like, it kind of fakes you out and thinks, oh yeah, it's gonna go to bro step, and then it doesn't. And it's like, oh, thanks. But yeah, that's all the singles we have to talk about. I mean,
Yay.
minus the double and triple singles, but that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah.
But real quick, I'd like to actually talk about the Quelle triple single that came out, Melancholy Strings. And I don't know, this one, I mean, I've listened to Quelle's stuff a bit. I'm not like an expert at all, but I've listened to his stuff a bit. And I've liked most of it, and this is about the same. My only real, like, notes are Algatran with Jakarta kind of gives me, like, new disco vibes, and I think that's personally my favorite off this. And then Van Dam with Referna kind of gave me 40 Cats vibes, which was really cool because I like a lot of their stuff. So, yeah, overall, it's an okay triple single. I mean, I wouldn't come back to it per se, but it's okay. If it were playing in a club, I'd probably vibe to it, you know?
Yeah, and the actual song Melancholy Strings kind of reminded me of some of the first Silk releases actually on Monster Cat, like Shingo Nakamura. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. I mean, I took a year of Japanese, so if anyone's gonna pronounce it correctly, it's me. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I watched anime, so if anyone's gonna pronounce it correctly.
Yeah. I mean, the running joke was always I took Japanese to not have to read the subtitles, which is not true, but, you know, I mean, when you're an angsty... How old was I? 15-year-old? Something like that. When you're an angsty 15-year-old teenager and your friends are like, oh, well, you're taking Japanese to not have to read the subtitles. I mean, you get pissed, but looking at it now, it's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Melancholy Strings. And then on that note, I also want to talk about the, I don't know how to pronounce this, IPeiqi? I don't even know. I don't even know. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. And then their double single, Loving You Is So Easy. The first track I found was very similar to the Quelle single. So it was kind of, I mean, yeah, it came out first, but I listened to it last in this, so I was like, this is kind of samey. But the other track, Heart Breathing on it, I really like that one because it's like progressive breaks and then a bit of like melodic house all wrapped into this neat package. And yeah, I think it's probably my personal favorite off the single.
I'm actually going to be the opposite on this because Loving You Is So Easy, the actual song, I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, sorry, my food's on the way.
Oh, perfect.
So I really enjoyed that one, but I don't know what it is about certain sounds in Heart Breathing. But I've literally written down here, I can't explain why, but this tickles my brain the wrong way. So like there's something about the way the sounds are, it just hits wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah, that'd be curious to, if you like re-listen to it and figured that out and told me, because I'd actually be kind of curious to see if I just totally missed it and, you know, reacted differently.
I mean, it could just be where I've listened to like the preview on Beatport and they've messed it up or something, because
yeah,
I might have to give it a listen on SoundCloud and see if it tickles it the right way instead.
Yeah. Yeah, classic Beatport being Beatport.
128 compression.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm gonna let you actually pick the next release we talk about.
I'm just going to go in the order that I've got written down here. So my next one is Discern's Point of Application.
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know, like, this one, I mean, I feel that the first track and then the last two tracks are just kind of boring, but then, Point of Application is probably my personal favorite off this, because it, like, kind of starts off, like, liquid drum and bass almost, and then it, turns into, like, old school drum and bass, and that was a really cool transition to hear. And then the shape, I don't know, like, that one, it's, like, this weird mix between, like, some slower genres. The only instance I could really think of is dubstep, although I know that's not what I was thinking of, and then drum and bass, and I don't know, it was kind of iffy. So yeah, this EP is mostly a miss for me, except for the title track. That was pretty good.
And I'm gonna have to disagree with you again. It's interesting. But yeah, I can't actually remember some of the titles of these, and I've written them down as abbreviations. So the first track is just written down as COC, and it's just screaming for me to go cock.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've written down that it's trying to be drum and bass and drum step, but failing at both.
Yeah.
Like, for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Point of Application, I've actually written down, it's a bit on the, like, more jungly side of drum and bass.
Yeah.
But it needs a few more layers to really sort of lock that in for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've written down that the shape is basically Point of Application Part 2.
Yeah.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
Motives. Why have I written this down? This does the opposite of heart breathing. Yes, please.
Yeah, we're gonna compare the drum and bass track to the progressive breaks track.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I'm guessing, like, all the extra percussion layers that were in there, I really enjoyed it, but I can't remember it. And then I don't know what the last track is called. I've just written AA of UO.
It is an abundance of unsolicited opinions.
Okay. And I've also just written down that it's the best of the EP. Very nice.
Just
I
nice.
I think at this point my notes just kind of get more chaotic. So I'm sorry.
No. In fact, the chaos is what we embody here. That just become one. Oh man, but yeah, I don't regret adding Omni to Stratobeat, but at the same time, I kind of do, just because, like, there are so many better drum and bass labels out there, like, Hospital, Med School, their short-lived sub-label MASH was even good, and that was only like 9 tracks, I think, something like that. But yeah, just, I don't know, I feel that a lot of Omni music has been very miss for me lately.
And the fact that you've got to try and actually go out of your way to search up what the release dates are for pretty much all of these as well. Yeah,
because just don't ask me why. Or actually, you know what, Eschaton, if you're watching this or listening to this, please tell me why the release dates on Bandcamp are so fucked up. I don't get it. Like, let's see, what ones were released in August, quote unquote, even though most of them released in September. I think it was the Mox. No, it was the Discern EP. So the Discern EP, the Astramus LP. What else? There was one other release that was also labeled as August. Maybe it was the Feta LP. I don't know, but yeah. Like, why? Just, you can, like, and it's not like they're releasing it early on Bandcamp, and then, it releases on streaming later. No, they're actually waiting to, like, publish these releases until release day, and then they say, put the wrong release date? Do they just upload them on these days and then not even bother to change the release date? I don't know.
Started.
Yeah, it's just...
I've started a rant.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, even this EP was labelled as, like, early September, and it's just like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, sorry, then it must have been the Nohc EP that was, August. I know it was one of the two that we're talking about today. So, yeah, just... eventually, I am gonna just go in to, like, Beatport and look through everything and be like, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, resort everything. But that day is not today, I'm just gonna say that. But, since we're talking about Omni, let's talk about the other EP that came out, Nohc with The Lost Chapter. This one I found was a lot better than the Discern EP. A new feature was a lot heavier, honestly, than a lot of the typical tracks you hear on Omni, and I like that one a lot. Yeah, otherwise, The Lost Chapter was really good. I liked the piano melody in it. Dexter's Run was kind of experimental, and I feel a good round off to the EP. And the only track I just like kind of forgot about is Decoupage. I don't know how to pronounce that. Like, the bass is nice, but that's about it. Otherwise, it's really forgettable. So overall, it's an eh.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than Discern's EP as well. Like, a new future. I've written down, fuck yes, break style D&B, sounds so good, so fresh. And to be honest, it does. I didn't write good soup for this one. You have to wait until the next EP for the next good soup.
Alright.
But yeah, like, for breaks to still sound so fresh in 2021, that's just good production right there.
Oh yeah.
And The Lost Chapter, weirdly, I've actually written that this would probably be better as an ambient track.
Yeah, you're actually right on that, I think.
Like, it still sounds good, but without the drums, or any sort of percussion, or even minimal percussion, I feel like it would actually hit better.
I agree.
Oh no, what have I written this for? Decoupage, I think. All this hits the good brain parts, those drums scratch good. I think this was at 11 o'clock at night or something.
That's you know what? That's understandable.
I mean, at least you get my raw thoughts here.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I probably did half this list while I was high too, so I do not blame you at all.
And then, yeah, Dexter's Run, like you said, that it was a good round off to the EP, but could probably use a couple more percussion layers in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a totally understandable viewpoint.
Yeah, like I said, overall, I did enjoy this EP quite a bit.
Yeah. It's like, it's not, well, okay, I won't say that it's not good, but it's not, like, it's not top tier, but it's not bottom tier. It's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, honestly, so. Well, I'm going to let you actually pick the EP we talk about again.
Well, I did say that the next EP would have good soup in it, so, Ivory with Bleep Bloop.
Alright. So, honestly, in my opinion, I feel that the first two tracks were great. Bullshit with Jiki, I think that's how you pronounce it. That really went off. Like, it sounds like typical Ivory, like, bro step tracks, but for some reason, it's really good, in my opinion. And then, Bleep Bloop has this really wonky sound design, which I like. But then, the other two tracks, Future with Company and then Fusion, they're just okay. They're a bit forgettable, but just okay. So, this EP is an okay out of 10.
I've almost agreed with you. So, bullshit, I've actually written down, the layers, because the actual overlapping synth layers with the percussion layers as well, I just really enjoyed those. I feel like that, to be honest, I feel like this should have been called Bleep Bloop, because the lead synths bleep blooped more than they did in Bleep Bloop.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said bleep bloop that many times in my life. And yeah, bullshit is my good soup.
Yeah. Okay, that's understandable.
Bleep bloop, I've written not as good, doesn't hit hard enough, and actually needs a bit of a harder kick to sort of punch into it a bit harder.
Sure.
For future, I've actually written, yeah, like this kick, fuck yeah. And I really enjoyed this. I feel like you could tell that Company was also a part of this song. Like, you could hear both Ivory and Company's influences in there. And then with Fusion, I've just written knock off Future.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I put, is Future was okay, a bit forgettable, and then Fusion was see Future. So, yeah. Overall, it's an alright EP, honestly.
Yeah. It's an okay out of 10.
Yeah, I can go with that. And since we're on the topic of dubstep, let's quick talk about the Oliver's EP out on Disciple. Actually, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Okay. Oh god, now you're gonna hear the fact that I've written down these tracks as acronyms again.
Oh no.
So I've got 2 tracks with the proper names. I'm Alive, I've put that it was quite interesting, and that, oh my god, misspelt dubstep.
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 Dubstep. Were you trying to use an emoji on a piece of paper?
I don't know at this point. I really don't know. But yeah, I've put that I'm Alive is actually really interesting, because the actual, like, the lead synth sounds and the other sort of filler sounds were very unusual for dubstep, but it makes it really refreshing. And then I really scared myself with this, but I've wrote Ragga and not something else. I thought, what did 11 PM myself right?
Yeah,
that's
a question we ask.
I don't know what song it is. ITR.
Inside the Ride.
Yeah, a bit of Ragga influence and lay as well. Top notch. ITA.
That is in the air.
Thank you. The sound stab is a good brain scratch. Why was I so obsessed with brain scratch?
I don't know, man. I think 11 o'clock you is just
yeah. And yeah,
sounds about right.
I think that's all I've written for that, actually. Acid, I was surprisingly disappointed with, because with a name like Acid, I was expecting, the classic 303s or 808s or whatever it is, and obviously it wasn't. I still enjoyed the song, but with a name like Acid, I thought it was going to be like a fusion of dubstep and acid techno.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Over my head.
Thank you. Why have I written this? Wub 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 reminds me of early Skrillex. More, please.
Oh man.
There we go.
Well, okay. I'm gonna have to disagree with you a bit on Acid. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna be on Acid when I disagree with you, but I'm gonna disagree about the track Acid.
I'm concerned that I was on acid when I wrote these.
I mean, I agree with you a little bit. Like, oh yeah, with a name like Acid, you would think it'd be like some acid techno stuff, or at least a fusion of it, and it's not, and it's kind of disappointing. But I really like this one a lot. Like, it feels like deep dubstep and brostep just had a kid, and I don't know why, but the sample kind of sounded like Mortal Kombat. I might be totally off base there, but it does a little bit. So yeah, I thought it was okay. Otherwise, the rest of the EP was really good, surprisingly. I'm Alive is probably my favorite off this one. Maybe Inside the Ride, I don't know, one of the two. But I'm Alive really gave me Play with Fire vibes, which was his previous single. And I like how the first 3 tracks actually sieg together. So there's like, no silence in between them, which is kind of nice. The only track I didn't personally like was Over My Head. I thought that was a bit too slow for my liking. But otherwise, this is a really good EP. Oh, did we lose them?
Food is here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, did we lose them? Well, I'll real quick talk about the Lupa EP if you wanna go run and grab your food.
Yeah, I'll just mute myself and then I'll come back with my... I don't know how to describe him. Yeah, my solid hot
Your
takes.
good soups.
Alright, I'll be back in a sec.
Alright, cool. So anyway, the Lupa EP, Insatiable, which is out now on Mousetrap. I don't know, I feel that I kind of... This EP was a bit iffy for me. Like, the first 2 tracks that were released as singles, which are For the Ride and Darkness, they're kind of okay. For the Ride is a bit stale, but Darkness was a lot better. Because I feel it was, like, deeper, and it actually had some melodies that you could vibe to, unlike For the Ride, which just kind of felt like beats, and that's it, and, like, no melody whatsoever, which, I mean, is not uncharacteristic of techno, but at the same time, I expect at least a little bit of melody here and there. But, the 2 tracks that are exclusive to this EP, Icarus and The Night, I love both these tracks. Icarus is like really deep, like Darkness, and I don't know, just something about it I really like. And then The Night, that vocal really complements it well, and it's probably my favorite track off the EP. But Icarus is a very close second on that too. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, would I go back to this EP personally? Only the last 2 tracks. I probably wouldn't come back for the Ride in Darkness. But otherwise, I think this EP is pretty good.
Okay, so Icarus, I've written down that it gives me IO vibes, rest in peace.
Yes.
But the actual foghorn that's used, I think it's a foghorn sample, needs to be up to pitch. Because, like, compared to the actual bass that's being used, it's off pitch.
Yeah.
I don't know why I noticed that.
Yeah, I don't think I noticed that at all.
With The Night, I've written down pretty basic techno. And the vocals make up the high end, where that also needed a bit more sort of backing percussion, like maybe a shaker or something. I know that's not pretty typical with techno, especially dark techno like this EP, but it just needed something.
Yeah.
For the Ride was a track that I actually remembered the title of, despite the fact that I've put it down as FTR. But my entire summary of this track is honestly a bit weak.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I agreed with that too. I thought it was a bit stale.
And then I have a personal vendetta against the darkness. So I tried to upload on the day of our recording the latest episode on my podcast onto YouTube, and The Darkness is one of the songs that got the video fucking blocked. So I now hate it.
Oh man, just... Okay, YouTube copyright fucking sucks. Like,
it does.
I think I told you, or maybe I didn't, I don't know if I did yet, but So basically, of course, because the beginning of Stratobeat is basically the Beatles and like the first Pink Floyd album until, you know, the Beatles broke up. And every upload of the Beatles is blocked worldwide. Every single one. And I wish I was joking about that. And I knew this from before when I ran this as a layout channel because I also uploaded a lot of Beatles tracks back then. But yeah, literally every track that isn't that is the Beatles, I'm sorry. Every track that is the Beatles is blocked, and everything that isn't. I don't get it. Why?
I don't understand. I don't even try to understand YouTube at this point. Like back when I uploaded game videos, I'd get videos blocked for using Legend of Zelda music. It's just like, yes, because I'm playing The Legend of Zelda. Come on. I don't know. I mean, I love the Beatles, but just the way that they've treated their copyright is just kind of, I don't like it. Like, for example, you couldn't even stream Beatles tracks on Apple Music and Spotify and that stuff until like 2015. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it was like Christmas of 2015, and I remember this because right when Apple Music came out, I decided, I'm gonna delete my collection of the Beatles because I can just get it from Apple Music. No, I can't. I had to wait.
Oh no.
Because I didn't want to go retorrent everything.
You mean
yeah.
to re-legal?
Re-legal. I mean, I did not say that I torrent. I do not torrent music. I support my artists. I buy their music, please.
But yeah,
no,
back
actually,
to the darkness.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you can go ahead. I'm done with my tangent.
But yeah, back to the darkness. Like, for real, I do really enjoy it. It's one of those few times where it's just like, yes, acid 303s or 808s or whatever number you are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main reason why I enjoy it. I just wish that YouTube wasn't such a fuck.
Yeah. YouTube can go suck a fuck, and if you don't know what I'm referencing, go watch Donnie Darko, because it's one of the best Halloween movies you can ever watch. I'm sorry, I'm going to make that joke. Well, actually, I will probably talk about that all October. Every October. I'm sorry, I have to.
I don't mind.
It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite movies, seriously. But, real quick, we should probably get through the last 2 releases we have. So up first we have Grum's new EP, Reconnection, which I think is a pseudo-sequel to his last EP. What was it called? I'm trying to remember what it was. What was it?
Disconnect.
No, it was, oh man. You know what, if I look it up, hold on. Let me look it up, actually. It was...
If it's actually called Disconnection, I'm done.
No, I know it's not. I just... okay, hold on. Here's a Spotify page. It's... hurry up, please. Isolation, that's what it was. So, kind of close. But, I don't know. I mean, I like this EP a decent amount, you know? I feel that the first and last tracks were a bit forgettable, but Invisible, Dom Udens, I think that's how you pronounce it, his vocals are really nice, and I like the kind of tech trance almost drop, which is really cool. And then Mainframe is like this really cool, like, acid trance almost track, and I like that a lot. But yeah, otherwise, the EP is okay.
Yeah, I mean, with Sprinkles, is it? Oh no, Sparkles. Whoops.
Sparkles.
But yeah, I thought that Sparkles would work better as uplifting trance again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with some more sort of lead layers put into it and up the BPM to at least 140.
Yeah.
Invisible was one that I really enjoyed the layers of, and I've written down here, pure bliss. So I think I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Mainframe, I've word for word written down, not doing it for me. It hits some Kraftwerk notes, but not enough.
You know what? You're kind of right on that now that I think about it.
And then dark mode, obviously you'd expect like dark trance or dark techno or something like that, and it doesn't seem to take it far enough. Like, it is darker than typical progressive trance, but it's just not enough.
Yeah.
It's like the same problem that I had with Acid earlier.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, like, you know, I think it is a decent EP at the very least.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then finally we have one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I mean, we've been talking about dubstep and drum and bass and house and all this shit. And now let's talk about some ambient. So, Beyond the Ghost released his latest LP, The Desolation Age, off Cryo Chamber. And I just want to say, because I know I told you this, I don't know, I think the only reason I added Cryo Chamber to Stratobeat was because of one album that I really like. Well, actually, okay, not even one album. One song that I liked off that album. That is the only reason I added Cryo Chamber to the sheet. And now it's like, oh, great. Now I get to listen to all this. Which isn't a bad thing at all. But, I don't know. I feel this LP really suffered, like, near past the middle into the end. Like, I like the Desolation Age because it has, like, this, like, Pink Floyd-esque grandeur to the synths, and, like, the synthwave sort of transition is kind of cool at the end. I like the ambience in Exodus, and then it kind of shifts the synthwave almost in Tainted City, and that was really cool. And then Passage into Oblivion is almost like a really weird switch, because it's like, it feels kind of light and airy, while also still being a little dark. And, you know, you've gone through this whole album and it's this really kind of, you know, dark, brooding sort of sound. And then basically everything between that and Lights Out was just okay. And then Lights Out, the only reason Lights Out is good is the piano in it. But otherwise, yeah, it really fell apart past, like, the halfway point. But it's an okay LP, honestly.
I think it suffered from all the tracks too long, like overstaying their welcome. But
I agree.
For literally all of these, I've written down some kind of like video game scenario or like movie scenario or something. I think I told you about this.
Yeah, you did.
So it starts off with the Desolation Age. It's the beginning cutscene where the world ends.
Yep.
And Exodus is looking at the landscape as sort of the main character, realizing, oh, shit's gotten real. PC, help.
Pale Conquerors.
Thank you. Is sort of the final boss looking at that fallen kingdom and sort of being like, haha, this is my kingdom and I am the evil.
Yeah.
TC.
Tainted City.
Thank you. Is the main character going through like that hellscape that you saw in Exodus.
Yep.
Point of... Oh no.
Or Passage into Oblivion.
That's the one. Is sort of the build-up cutscene to a premature final boss fight. So like the surprise boss fight where he has to beat you. SMD.
Slow Motion Downfall.
Thank you. Is like that cutscene after that boss beats you and you basically have to crawl your way back from the beginning again.
Spectral Parade.
Thank you. Is that final boss sort of gloating at the top of where he was before, basically saying like, you will never beat me, sort of thing. Quietus is basically like the montage scene of you getting stronger and getting back to that final boss. and then lights out. I've written here, the boss is defeated, but at what cost?
Yeah, I'm just gonna Photoshop a Wario picture right there. Just for the meme.
I've won, but at what cost?
So actually, it's kind of funny, and I just realized this pretty recently, but if you go to the Bandcamp descriptions, they actually have, like, the lore behind all these albums. And so, to sum it up, basically, I'm just kind of reading this and summarizing. So, it's 2061, and all these, like, powers are fighting against each other, and then, I guess, in London, like, all these, like, cyborg soldiers and shit are taking over.
In London?
Yes, in London. Let's see.
Fighting over a bottle of water?
A bull. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically it. It's yeah, everything's getting taken over, and it's shit. Hence the title, The Desolation Age. But yeah, so there you go. If you ever are wondering why you can actually come up with a video game scenario, and if you think it's any good, go check the Bandcamp because it's usually there.
I mean, that's basically what Form Storybook was all about, if you remember that from sort of the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's true. I did really like Form Storybook. That was such a great compilation.
It really was. I mean, there's so many artists that I already follow from that. You know, like, trying to think of their names now. But I'm pretty sure, obviously...
if you can't think of their names? No, I'm kidding.
Voxkai, Scaredy Cat, Beak Feet, Simply, Ensemble. There's probably a lot more on there that I can't think of. Probably like BH and other people like that. But yeah. Are those sorts of people actually making the songs, and you can tell that everyone had a different scenario that they had to then link up together, and then they were all related to stories that were also community submitted. And
Disharmonic actually wrote a story for it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been Undercurrent. I'm gonna look it up. So expect my mic to go fuck.
Yeah, I know it wasn't the one track that I really liked off it, Light for the Wicked, because I was like, oh, I really hope he wrote this one because this track's really good. And it wasn't. Well, I mean,
sorry, Rays of Resolve.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking of. I knew it was like after that, at least.
Yeah, and that was the song by Machina, Uki, Aether Tides, Voxkai, Kitefield, and Beak Feet.
Yeah.
I think that's the only problem with Form Storybook, is because obviously so many artists were linking up together, trying to write that down in a track list.
Oh yeah, it's bad. And then also, they didn't even put for the album title Form Presents Storybook or Form Storybook or anything. So in order to search it up, you have to look up Storybook, and then just find whatever one is the various artists. So you have to search through 10 different albums just to find the right one.
This is why I kept it in a separate folder in my downloads. Just sat there in a folder just called Form Storybook.
Well, I mean, it works, so, Well, anyway, I think that's about all the time we have, so thank you all for joining us on our very first episode of Stratobeat Reviews. And next week, although I don't have the actual list of tracks ready because I have not actually updated Stratobeat as of this recording, which is Friday, I know for a fact we will be talking about the Volume 10 Ingenuity Rising, featuring the lead track from That Cute Boyfriend of Mine, Euphoric Nation. Yeah, and plenty of other tracks, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.